is focused on doing it through the nose, right? Expanding our practice. So it would be more, you're going to take a big breath in through the nose. And then empty all the air out of your lungs. And just breathe. Into the nose and out. Just concentrating on this part of your skeletal system. This is also a great way to detox your lungs, your internal organs, your mind. And again, take a big breath in and Kapalabhati. Empty all the air out of your lungs. And then once again, just breathe in through the nose. Now, when you're learning how to do something, we can get really heady. And this is like the first great opportunity to just let the body teach you. Maybe just creating a new habit. This is where you also connect with your tapas, right? Your fire, your discipline. And then again, Kapalabhati. And empty all the air out of your lungs. Now the idea is if we can connect with this when we're breathing, we can also connect with this when we're moving. So as we close our eyes, let's just roll onto our backs. And I want you to exaggerate that sensation. So you'll take the block, place it between your inner thighs. Does anybody need a block? We all got our props. We'll roll back. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Squeeze the block gently so you're just using your adductors. And slowly roll back and forth. You can just roll up and down. What I want you to do is try to stay connected to that sensation in your core. Press the back of your head into your hands. You're not using the trapezius muscle. The only job it has is to hold your head up. You shouldn't be responsible for anything else. Use your breath to facilitate. So for some of you, the inhale needs to be exaggerated. And for others, the exhale needs to be exaggerated. For some, it is to breathe through the nose, needs to be exaggerated. For some of us, pressing the tongue to the roof of the mouth should be exaggerated. Creating a new habit. Just a few more of these. If you're feeling fatigued, please feel free to rest. And on the next breath, lower the head down, press your feet into the mat. Come right into bridge pose. So take your hands towards the heels of your feet. Press the back of your head into the mat. Squeeze the block gently. Feel how those adductors influence your glutes. Keep pressing the hips towards the top of the mat. Now use your breath to get the collarbone closer towards the chin. So if you focus on that 4-part breath, or the collarbone, right? You inhale, 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 inhale. So the collarbone goes all the way towards the chin. Just exhale a little bit. Your 80-20. Inhale, 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 all the way into that collarbone. Exhale a little bit. Inhale, 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 inhale. Let's release. Lower the tailbone down to the ground. You'll take your legs up towards the sky. Now, to that same sweet spot in your core, you want to keep that connected. See if you can keep that pressed into the lower part of the mat as you just do leg lifts. So just lower your legs towards the floor and then lift them up. Now, if this is too much and you lower your legs and your lower back comes up off the mat, you have two choices. You can add a block, or you don't go as low. But the idea is that same spot that we've been breathing into, we want that to stay inward. Use your breath. The best way to go from effort into ease is when you coordinate the movements with your breath. Remember, you can take your hands, place them underneath the tailbone, support your stretch. You go up and down. Right, since we're in the 6th week of our teacher's training, remember that flexing your feet changes the sensation. You can try pointing your toes if you'd like, and see how that influences your experience. Now try pointing your toes. Remember, spreading your toes, making spaces between each toe, awakening your arches, still engaging that part of your abdominal muscle right above the belly button. Now one more time, you're going to flex your feet. You're going to turn your heels in and your toes out. Squeeze the block. Lower your legs and lift them. One more time, turn your feet to center, lower and lift them. Internally rotate the feet towards each other, lower and lift them. All of them create different sensations. Use your breath. And bring the legs back up towards the sky. Keep the block where it is. Just bring your shins in. Rock yourself from side to side, just oscillating the spinal column, loosening it up. When people tell me they have back pain, I might come to core class. Right? The secret to the universe is the stronger your core is, the stronger your back is, the more supple it becomes. One more time, the legs go back up towards the sky. Spider fingers, you place them in front of you, and you'll just lift and lower your hips. Now, simultaneously, focus on keeping that block engaged. Lower the tailbone down to the ground. Place the feet on the floor. One more time, come into bridge pose. So think about bringing your elbows closer and closer towards the heels of your feet. So often when a teacher says that, what happens is the student brings their feet closer to their elbows. Keep your feet where they are. Focus on drawing your elbows as close to the heels of your feet as possible. And squeeze the block. If you bring your heels in, you shorten your stance. If you draw your elbows towards the heels of the feet, you actually lengthen the body. For some of you, you're just putting your arms back in your socket. Yes? Right. And then use that 4-part breath where you're going to lift the collarbone, expand the back body. So you're exposing the chest, the collarbone, the heart, the chakra. So it goes all the way towards the chin. And then you use your 80-20 breathing to reinforce that. Because we all know if you take a little exhale, you can get a lot more out of the next inhale. There are so many wonderful things about the practice of yoga. We don't need to be able to perfect them all. We just need to have a good understanding of them. And then the rest will come. Release, bring the tailbone back down to the ground. Take the legs up towards the sky. Keep that block between your inner thighs. And let's do some rope climbing where the right hand will reach for the outside of the left foot. And then you'll alternate going from side to side. How's that sweet spot within your abdominal area? Are you still connected with it? Remember that the teacher, right, you, the teacher, often teaches to where the student is at. And as your student evolves, so will their techniques. Only offer what they're ready for. And this is why it's so important as a teacher not to pigeonhole the student in one place. Be the witness to their growth, their transformation. We'll come back to center, place the feet on the floor, work their bridge pose, lifting the hips up, bring the elbows closer towards the heels of the feet and breathe. In through the nose and out. Work your 4-part breath. Come up higher on your tippy toes. See if that helps you facilitate getting your shoulders underneath you a little bit more. Lower the heel. Lower the hips. Release the block. Coming into Supta Baddha Konasana, bring the balls of your feet together. Let your knees fall open. Some of you may need to support your knees, especially if you overstretch. Interlacing the fingers behind the head. Feel that stretch between the coccyx and the top of the head so that you're really utilizing your entire side body. We're going to work our external obliques by rocking from right to left. So the left elbow goes towards the left knee, the right elbow goes towards the right knee. Ideally, you want your shoulder blades to be up off the mat. So on your inhale, you lift. Feel that connection to your abdominals. Lean to the left, look to the right. And then see if you can keep those scapulas lifted as you move to the other side. You don't want to shorten the adductor or those external obliques. You want them to stay nice and long. Now, a lot of times when we're in class and I say, I want you to engage your external obliques in triangle pose, right? We've seen this with me and a few other students. You can practice that sensation here. What does it feel like to get the ribs and the hip flexor towards each other? And are you using your breath to help facilitate that? Try to avoid the back bend. Now remember, your head's like 8 pounds. This is a great workout for your arms. Just cradling that heaviness. You feel your biceps and your triceps working. And we'll come back to center. Take a big breath in. Let your hips relax. Now we're going to bring your knees together. You're going to roll over onto the right side. We're going to come up onto your right forearm. Take your left hand to your head. So the elbow is going up towards the sky. There you go, good. Now bring the knees in towards the elbow. Now if you need some help, squeeze the block. This may be a little intense for your IT band. You got this, birthday girl. In through the nose and out. And we'll lift and hold for 3, 2, 1. From here, extend the right leg out. You can just place the left foot on the ground behind you. And just going to lift and lower the right inner thigh up off the ground. And then lift and hold. Have your left hand reach for the foot. Lift the right hip up off the ground. Lower it down. And lift it up. So now make it bigger. Bring the two pieces together. right? We practice this all the time in vinyasa, but there's a lot of Watchasana happening then, right? Now you can take your time. Don't forget that left leg needs to work hard too. Don't let it internally rotate. Release. Go right to the other side. See how that adductor feels on the left side. Bring the right hand behind you. Find your breath. And let's get started. Pull it in. Love that. Rocking on the IT van. Oh, so good. Lift and hold. Roll the shoulder of the left shoulder back. Lift the collarbone up towards the sky. Make that left arm work really hard. Lower the right foot down. Just extend the left leg out. Keep working on that upper chest as you lift and lower the left leg. So it's not so much about how high that leg comes up as much as it is about can you keep your core, your sternum, your back, your head, your breath. And the Yoga Sutras say over and over again, the ease comes when you unite the breath with the movement. You know how that mind likes to get in there and dictate. Now the right hand comes forward, it reaches for the foot. This is what the sensation looks like, right? Then you just lift your hips up by using your left side body. And then you lower down. You make the movements big. Just lift and lower a few times. Coordinate your breath. One more. Release, come back to center. Oh, let's hang out in a forward fold, shall we? Because don't your shoulders feel so good? While they're awake, does everybody have their 2 blocks? Judy, do you have 2 blocks? 2 blocks. So the secret to this pose is you have to round your back. Remember how we were working that sensation earlier? That you want to stay connected to that. So a lot of times when people do this pose, they want to straighten their spine. But this is a lot like Janu Shirshasana, forehead to knee. So when you lift your hips up, slide them back like an angry cat, and then lower yourself down. Lift yourself up, round your spine, look towards your belly button and breathe. Lift the right leg up, flex the foot, breathe. And lower yourself down when you're ready, right? Yes, Charlie horses are a part of the experience. Yes, they're free. So that, yes, BOGO, look at that, strong arms on a Charlie horse. Everybody up. And then work on drawing your hips back. And lift the left leg up. Gotta lift those buttocks up, lift up, buttocks up, lift it up, lift it up, lift it up. And then slowly reach. Did you get a Charlie horse? Well, that's 2 down, only 10 more to go, right? Yeah. So a lot of times it's this action that moves us forward and back. So here you come into your tabletop. And then you can slowly push yourself back. Here you come into your reverse tabletop. And then slowly you take the action of tucking your chin in to push back. Just practice that a few times. In through the nose and out. There's no rush, right? We're trying to practice to understand. Practice to understand. A lot of times, if we practice long enough, we'll find the ease. If we don't practice long enough, we just remember the effort. Lower yourself all the way down. Bring the balls of your feet together, or bring our hands out in front of us and just hang. Working the core that connects to the upper body. And we'll slowly bring our knees back in. And Pilates roll up. Feel that rounding in your cat sensation. This is the same thing we are attempting to do, but on our arms. Just to work the rounding of the spinal column. And as you go back, can you feel the coccyx tilt? Where the lower back starts to hit the rim of the hip flexor, to the lower back, to the middle back, to the upper back, to the head. And you tuck your chin in. Work on lifting each vertebrae up off the ground. And there is a point where anatomically you're going to get stuck, right? That's the muscle you want. Instead of shaming it, to say, I see you. I see you. I'm going to help you. We're going to get stronger together. And the next time you roll down, pull your knees into your chest, give yourself a great hug. As you close your eyes and draw your attention inward, connect with all the gooey, yummy sensations. Get your mind to look for the positive. take your hands to your knees and make nice circles. Nice gentle circles that are restorative, supportive, nurturing. My mom always used to say, you know, Shelly, you can get warm with honey. Try that sometime. Buttle Savasana, let your legs fall open, your arms not too close. Let your belly go. Just as it's important to learn how to restrict it, it's also important to learn how to let it go. And let's pull both knees into the chest. And we'll roll to the right side. Coming up into a comfortable seat. We'll face the top of the mat. Eyes lower, eyes closed. We'll bring our hands to prayer at the center of the chest. Grateful for this new day, its beauty, and its light and the chance to think. May we all be free from yesterday's limitations, and today may we be reborn. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Peace, peace, peace. And from my heart to yours, namaste. Awesome job, ladies. Robert, we have a small break. Hey, there he is, between classes.